Welcome, everybody, to another live recording of the Business Travel 360 Linking the Travel Industry podcast, where we discuss travel industry news you're talking about on LinkedIn. My name is Rian, and I'm one of your hosts today. I'm a co-founder at Agentivity, where we ensure TMCs operate as efficiently as possible through the effective use of data. So if that sounds of interest, do get in touch. As usual, I'm joined by Ash and Anne to help me discuss our list of stories with you. Over to you, Anne.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Anne. I'm an independent consultant, happy to help you with anything related to distribution, retailing, NDC, one order. Over to you, Ash.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ash. I'm the host of a weekly business travel podcast called What's Up in Business Travel, where we give you only the important updates in under 15 minutes. Additionally, I'm the Vice President of Client Success at Traxo, and this is Linking the Travel Industry.
For those new to our event here, welcome. The format here is a spontaneous, non-biased, more importantly, review of the previous week's LinkedIn travel industry-related stories. Last week was week 47. There was some sad news out of the UK again with the collapse of another airline, and that is the airline Blue Islands. They are a channel-based, or they were a channel-based airline, and they just suddenly stopped operating last week. They've cancelled all their flights, but left quite a few people stranded, and they were operating mostly on routes like Jersey, Guernsey, Bristol, East Midlands, Leeds, Bradford, etc. So obviously quite a vital feeder, but they operate no more. And based on that report, they also faced obviously substantial financial challenges, including some outstanding COVID-19 loan money to the UK government. So very sad news, right, Anne? We don't want to see this, and it's very unfortunate.
It's very worrying that this is the second airline in the UK in a very short space of time, particularly concerning regional airlines and, like you say, very vulnerable. It has me personally quite worried.
For a nice change, we've got a bit of hotel news, not just once, but twice. It's quite unusual for us to have some hotel news, so this is nice to see. Both of these stories I got from posts made by Rob Burgess, and the first one he talked about was some substantial changes that are coming to the Hilton Honors loyalty scheme, and maybe we should talk about that one first. And I'm going to come to you, Ash, because you are my hotel go-to guy, especially with loyalty. What did you make of these changes?
These changes are actually great. We think that Hilton's program was a little bit unfair to those that had certain tier levels based on how often they traveled. So Hilton's brought the numbers down, which is always nice, right? As a loyalty person, when you have to do less to achieve more, you want to be part of the program. I was a little bit disappointed that in this announcement, they failed to point out all the ways that travelers can earn Hilton points outside of staying at Hilton. And I thought that was a missed opportunity because they have some really good partnerships, for example, with Lyft. And those partnerships were never mentioned in any of the press releases. I think that the days of trying to get people to stay at your own hotel or fly on your own airline and only using that as a method of giving some benefit are kind of long gone. I think you have to bring in new partnerships, and I think that they missed out on that.
The one sentence I focused on was Rob's sentence about what you need to know, and that is that they basically slash the targets for earning silver, gold, and diamond status. And anything else?
We've always thought that there was such a huge gap there between silver and gold. So I'm glad to see that they clearly listened.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Imagine booking a flight, reserving a hotel, and filing your expense report, all during your favorite coffee break at your desk. That's what Italite makes possible, a modern, all-in-one platform for business travel and expenses. Why choose Italite? Because we combine smart technology with effortless workflows, helping companies save money while making travel simpler and faster for employees. Italite, the smarter way to travel for work. Discover more at italite.com.
That's a good thing.
Another hotel story that is interesting to note, also again by Rob, is the story from about Marriott Hotels. They've launched 2 new payment cards in the UK, and both are linked to the Marriott Bonvoy scheme. Ash, the only thing I can say is why only now, or is this just something new?
I know this is focused on the UK market, but just in the US market, both Southwest and United also announced their debit cards in partnership with the same bank, incidentally enough. So there is a push by banks and airlines and hotels now to capture the debit card market. And this is based on the younger travelers who don't want to get credit or don't have the ability to get credit. Of course, it does not compete with their regular credit card. Their official credit card programs are much more lucrative. But if you're not able to get one of their credit cards, you can get the debit card and still earn some pretty good benefits as well.
Look how excited you get about these kind of things, right? I can't be bothered at all. This really interests you, right? These rewards and loyalty and so on. There's actually been quite a few posts about this. Google's announced quite a few enhancements to its artificial intelligence travel search functions. It drove down the share prices of some of the leading OTAs. And what did you make of this? There's no panic here, right? This is just something to note.
No need to panic, but this is very much what we expected, isn't it? A transformation of search. We also need modernization of search. As you know, that's one of the topics that interests me the most because we don't see much of the underlying plumbing getting modernized.
I personally don't like the way this is being looked at negatively from that perspective. I think, as you just sort of alluded to, this is going to improve how search is working. But Ash, what did you make of this?
This news is 6 days old now, and it's no longer applicable because Expedia stock did climb back out. The negative 6% is old. It's over. It's no longer negative 6%. It's actually plus 5.5%. So Expedia has made it back. The other thing is that Google is in partnership with a bunch of suppliers, Booking.com, Expedia, Marriott, in order to build the Google's AI mode application, which is what this story was initially about. Expedia being part of it is they're going to get back into the race again.
Okay, and that's why you should listen to this event to get on the right track with what the news is actually about. So speaking of thanks, I just want to turn to the audience for a second. We're not done. We've got quite a few more stories to cover. Thank you for giving us your time, especially on the Monday. We've got a nice full room. Our purpose here with Linking the Travel Industry is to link more of us together. So this is your opportunity to tell us where you are listening from. Just tell us the city and the country if you want, and give us a hi, and we'll bring that comment on screen. And ideally, you'll get a few more connection requests. So please go ahead and do that as we continue with our stories. Very concerning story. I wrote this in a post by Michael Smith, wrote about this issue where Russian hackers basically recreate entire well-known industry travel sites, or they copy them and create them as a slightly differently spelled, URL in an attempt, of course, for people to believe they're making reservations at legitimate properties and so forth, and of course then stealing their information. This is something to be well aware of, obviously. It's probably quite easy to fall in that trap, right, Anne?
No, it certainly isn't. And if you don't follow Michael Smith, I really recommend that you do. It's very concerning. The good thing about two-factor identification, etc., which you can really truly see is very needed, isn't it?
And then a headline I wasn't expecting to make: German government is going to reduce air taxes. Now, I was with Dutch travel agents last week at their annual conference in Morocco, and this was big news because they are facing increases in air taxes out of the Netherlands. And of course, this makes the Netherlands a lot less competitive with regards to where people start their trips from. And they were already saying that people are already traveling to Germany to fly from there because it's cheaper, and this is now just going to get worse. So much for a unity, right? And consistent taxes across the union.
It's so interesting, this sort of whole dancing around with, they've clearly seen the impact, haven't they? We've seen the cancellations of various airlines and reducing a flight. It's an immediate effect, isn't it? I was surprised to see it.
Ash, this must sound really weird to the Americans, right? That this could be so different between the countries in Europe.
What's 20% going to do? If you're going to do something, then go for 100%. If you really want to give people relief, numbers work out to be about 10 euros, roughly, give or take. I think this is just a political stunt.
Well, it's going to win a significant number of customers because it's not that difficult to just drive across the border to Germany and travel from there. That's quite unfortunate. And then a story which we are monitoring closely here on Linking the Travel Industry. We've talked about this quite a lot. The use of power banks on flights and the various policies amongst the airlines. It was very interesting for me to see several posts where airlines are starting to clamp down on the use. In fact, I just traveled and both Lufthansa and Transavia were both not allowing you to charge the power bank in flight. And they were all saying during use, it must be visible and you must be able to see it, and so must the staff. And so there were two more announcements. Virgin Australia and Qantas have now banned the use and or did the same, where they say it needs to be in view. And Emirates, Flight Dubai and Etihad are also doing the same. So we do like seeing these. And we obviously, from our side, we would like to call for a consistent, united approach to this. Right, guys? I don't know if you've got any comments.
Definitely the consistency. It's a bit all over the place.
And Ash, to answer some of your questions there's a comment there from Christoph saying, with this reduction in air taxes by the German government, will decrease by between 3 and 14 euros per passenger. On a 20 euro ticket is a lot. So,
those damn 20 euro tickets as well. So when I see numbers like this, again, 3 euro savings, am I going to not travel or travel more? I don't think it makes a difference.
Any other comment on that power bank story?
I just want to commend Virgin Australia and Qantas for making this decision. I think that's something to be applauded. As more and more airlines do what they should do, which is to ban, I'm still waiting for somebody other than Southwest in America to do the same thing. No one has stepped up. And I'm hoping that we'll get more of the airlines in 2026 coming through with their own version of the ban. And of course, that will allow us to get to the next level, which is an all-out ban. So definitely a good move by all these airlines who are doing what they're doing.
Okay, great. So those were the stories on my list. As usual, I want to check if you've got any extra stories. And Ash, I think you might have...
I do have some of that good stuff. By the way, there is so much activity, and I'm going to call it hyperactivity, going on in space travel these days. I think that the momentum is definitely picking up a lot in the fourth quarter. One of the news items is that SpaceX actually has now had 500 reusable rocket launches. That shows and proves once and for all, reusable rockets are here to stay. And the other thing I want to mention as part of space news is that the International Space Station has marked 25 years of continuous human presence. 25 years, somebody's always been in space. You see a lot of different countries, India making big moves in space travel. And this is a really nice one for you, Rian. Did you know that in Bulgaria, there is a small satellite maker who is going to scale into production in their Sofia facility? And then Amazon, they had that Project Kuiper that nobody could pronounce. We kept struggling with that name. So now they've rebranded that to Amazon Leo.
Europeans, paper wasn't that difficult, but I guess it's hard on the tongue for the others.
As Anne always says, until it doesn't happen in America, it doesn't happen.
Yeah. The company Sophia is making satellites. You should send me the link. Maybe I can go visit them for Linking the Travel Industry and we can get some photos done.
EnduroSat is the name, Rian.
25 years of continuous presence in international space. Can you think of any tech in your house that's 25 years old that you will still depend your life on? Very few and far between. So it just shows you how that's been built, right?
Part of the whole thing with the ISS is that it is getting older. People recognize that. And so they're talking about building a new one. There definitely needs to be an improvement. So, I mean, it's going to be a sad day when they have to bring that down. It's like the last 747 flight and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's a pretty significant move.
Okay, well, that's a wrap then from our side. So thank you very much. Thank you for all the comments and people listening in. We enjoy having your presence. We'll do this again next week. Over to you, Anne.
Thanks, everyone, and thank you for your comments. Over to you, Ash.
All right, thanks, Anne. And thank you all for joining today's live recording of Linking the Travel Industry. We record this podcast live every week on Monday. We ask that you share this event with others that you know. Chances are high that if you enjoyed today's session, those you know will as well. If you haven't missed a show because of time zone availability, we make the podcast available on businesstravel360.com. This is Linking the Travel Industry, signing off.